North Devon in search of the good life, and there were many of the homegrown variety too. "Shouldn't we be here?" "No, it's not private." He found her stare disconcerting. "You have every right to be here." A pause. "Why are you on your own? Where are your parents?" The girls looked at each other. "We don't know," the younger child said. He thought she seemed on the verge of tears, and he couldn't bear the thought of her crying. "And there's only our mother at home now." "Daddy's working away." The older child's voice was firm, reproving. He hesitated for a moment. He was reluctant to ask two young girls to come with him when he was on his own, but he could hardly leave them here. He looked at his phone. No reception. "Why don't we go indoors? That's my house over there," he said, pointing. "It'll be warmer there, and we can find out what's happened to them." "You're a stranger. We know not to go anywhere with strangers." "Quite right. But I happen to be a stranger who's a police officer." He fished in his jacket pocket for a warrant card and was relieved when he found it. He didn't have much use for it these days, now that he spent most of his time stuck behind a desk. He showed it to the older girl. She took it in her hand and studied it carefully. "Let's get you warmed up. I could make some hot chocolate." There was a moment's hesitation, and then they nodded in tandem. Inside the house, the two girls thawed out, literally and metaphorically. Their names were Olivia and Imogen Sellers, and they were 13 and 9 respectively. They lived in the smartest street in Barnstable. Their mother was called Elizabeth. There was no mention of their father. They sat at the kitchen table with mugs of hot chocolate in front of them. Even the elder girl had a faint, milky moustache after drinking a little. "So, tell me how you came to be on the beach this morning." Olivia took a time to answer, but it was already clear that she would be the one to tell the story. "We were on our way to school." "Which school?" "Brooks. It's private, for girls. Mummy said we'd do better at a girls' school." A pause. "She said we're very lucky to be there." "And where is the school?" Matthew had never heard of it, but then why should he have done? Jen Rafferty's kids went to the local comp. She would have considered a private school a betrayal of all she believed in. Imogen stared at him with astonishment. It seemed that the school was the centre of her world. "So," he said, "you were on your way to school?" He'd be able to find the place soon enough. "Mummy had a phone call," Olivia said, before adding quickly, "She pulled into the side of the road to take it. She'd never drive while she was using her mobile." "Quite right." "Then she drove us here to the beach. She left us in the car and said she'd only be 5 minutes, but she was gone ages, so we went down onto the sand to look for her, in case anything had happened to her." From the tone of the girl's voice, Matthew thought perhaps things had happened to Mummy in the past. "Perhaps we should look for the car then," he said, "in case she's back there and waiting for you." "We did try," Olivia said, "but we couldn't find it, so we came back to the beach." "Mummy loves the beach." Imogen looked up at him. The chocolate moustache gave the younger girl the look of an animal with fur or whiskers, a dormouse with big grey eyes. "We thought she'd be there." "Do either of you have a mobile?" Matthew was torn. He wasn't sure whether he should leave the girls here on their own, but he didn't want to take them out into the cold again. The red knees and the eyes streaming in the icy air had deeply affected him. Besides, he was a detective, and in his work he came across dreadful sights. The previous spring there'd been a body here on Crow Point, where the rivers met the sea. The girls shook their heads. "Mummy doesn't approve of screens at school." He came to a decision. "Why don't you stay here? No point everyone getting cold. I'll have a quick look and come back to let you know what's going on." He looked at them. They were serious. Anxious, but perhaps not anxious enough. Maybe it wasn't unusual for Mummy suddenly to disappear. This time they nodded their agreement. "Can you describe your mother's car?" Again, it was Olivia who answered. "It's a black Golf.